And now to our discussion segment, the recent entry of Tunisia's central bank as the 13th central bank member of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System marks another significant milestone in the journey towards facilitating real-time settlement of intra-African trade and payments in African currencies. On Business Express today, we will discuss how this development will help to promote cross-border payment services and enhance financial integration across Africa. Our guest is Professor of International Economic Relations, Covenant University, and consultant ECOWAS Common Investment Market, Jonathan Aremu. Professor, you're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you very much.
Okay, to begin, I believe you must have followed the recent development of Tunisia being the 13th central bank to join Papss. What does it mean for Papss, and what does it mean for the African Continental Free Trade area?
Thank you very much, and once again, Via, thank you for another opportunity to hear my view on this wonderful subject matter. First, let me congratulate Afrexim for actually ensuring that Pan-African Payment and Settlement System is being put on board so that member countries of Africa can trade with their own domestic currencies. And it's equally a very good development that the Central Bank of Tunisia is coming on board as well. I think Afrexim have been going around to make sure that they put as many as possible banks right into that particular program so that the issue of trading in national domestic currencies across our member countries in Africa becomes a reality. Let me first and foremost say, particularly for viewers that are listening to this subject matter for the first time, what does Pan-African Payment and Settlement, what does it really mean? I'm going to use an example. Let me say, I want to buy something from Accra in Ghana, and Ghana is the exporter. A Pan-African Payment and Settlement System will allow my account to be debited in Naira, and then the account of the exporter in Ghana will be credited in CD, so that in the exact transaction, we are not going to use dollar, we are not going to use pound, we are not going to use euro. But this particular opportunity actually presumes that the central bank of individual country will be involved. And that's exactly what is happening. But at the same time, at the fulcrum of it is going to be Afrexim Bank that is going to be in the middle. They're going to, I mean, if my account is debited, that will be sent to central bank, and then the central bank will now send the information to Papss. Papss will send it to the central bank of Ghana, and Ghana will send to the commercial banks of that exporter. And that is the entire arrangement. So this one will make it very simple for exporters and importers across borders in the entire continent to be able to trade easily, and then to make the reality of African Continental Free Trade Area something that will give us greater trade creation among member states. So it's a wonderful development that Tunisia has actually enlisted itself.
But Prof, when you observe, the adoption of Papss seems rather slow. Then it's supposed to spread because of when you look at the pressure of actually getting the dollar itself to change it to your own currency. I mean, to take your currency and change it to dollars in order to do trade. It has not been favorable for African countries.
I couldn't get what you are saying properly.
No, what I'm trying to say is, if you look at it, this has it's somehow a way out for a lot of African countries. But as what it is today, the Central Bank of Tunisia is just the 13th. You expect a lot of countries to be adopting Papss because of the ease of trade between one country to the others. Also, you don't have to go and start looking for dollars to trade and things like that. But it's not the case today. Why is it that we are slow in Africa in adopting this particular payment system?
Thank you very much. Yes, you are really assuming too fast. You see, this program, this process involves a lot of things. Take, for instance, the idea of a payment system, even before Afrexim, was developed by us in the ECOWAS Commission. We have ECOWAS Payment and Settlement System. And there are certain principles, certain procedures, which a very good and effective payment system must actually go through before it can be effective. And therefore, you can't rush it. You don't have to rush it. Number one, the legal environment have to be clear. What are we really saying this? The various jurisdictions that have to be involved must actually make sure that they understand and put up the relevant conditions that will allow this to happen. Secondly, the system of rules and procedures of countries that wanted to do this thing must equally be transparent. There should be clarity and well-defined process of getting this done. And prompt payment is very important. We don't want a situation in which after we agree, because this is going to be at a touch of a button kind of payment. Immediately I agree that I'm buying something from Ghana, my account will be debited. Immediately my account is debited, that will create a signal to my bank. My bank will signal Central Bank of Nigeria. Central Bank will signal the thing to Pan African Payment and Settlement System. Pan African Payment and Settlement will signal the Central Bank of Ghana, and Central Bank of Ghana will signal the Bank of Ghana, and then the account of the exporter in Ghana will equally be given an alert. And you know, you have to actually make sure that both the software and hardware are connected in a manner that is quite objective, is quite timely at a touch of a button. It's a gross real-time kind of settlement. It's not something that can be delayed. So it's not equally something that you can rush either. So and that is why the process have to take that time. So don't say that, oh, well, up to this time, so many few number of countries. No, we are going to get there. At least something has started.
Well, when you look at the reason why I'm saying this, when you look at the kind of pressure that is on the naira today, yesterday I think it was sold at the official market at around 1,500 naira, more than 1,500 naira. Yeah. But when we tend to trade less with the West and trade more with the African countries, and when we have the Papss in place, I think it will go a long way in somehow reducing the pressure and improving the value of naira.
I very much understand you, but what I'm saying, and I still maintain, is that you cannot rush the procedure.
Okay.
let me tell you one thing. ECOWAS Payment and Settlement System, we have been on this program since 2010. As Plan B, when we discovered that the issue of ECO as a second currency, and then finally as a single currency in ECOWAS may not be a reality because of the primary and secondary condition that it has been imposing on countries. And let me let you know that not until July last year was when the Supplementary Act on ECOWAS Payment and Settlement System agreed and signed upon. In fact, the chairman of ECOWAS Head of State, President Bola Tinubu, signed on behalf of Nigeria. And we have been on this since 2010. So the Papss started their own in 2022, January, and then it has reached this stage. I think we need to clap for them. And that's a good job. But let me say this one.
Okay.
That you still have to clear a lot of legal environment. So Papss has not been able to clear these ones. And until they clear it, what you are talking about, the issue of the Central Bank of Tunisia, is that they have agreed to participate. Not that immediately they agree, then they can be using their domestic currency. No. Quite a lot of other things still have to be in place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now where are we in the adoption of the African Continental Free Trade? I mean, implementation of the African Continental Free Trade.
Excellent. You see, we appreciate the founding fathers of African Union, and we equally appreciate the African Economic Community Treaty of 1991, which is equally tied to Abuja Treaty. You see, it's Abuja Treaty because it even started as legal plan of action in 1980. So you can look at the whole thing, it's more or less Nigerian based, Nigerian actually perfected, and then on the day of signing, Nigeria did not sign. That is on the 24th of March 2018. But Nigeria finally signed in 2019, and then we ratified on the 5th of December 2020. So we are part and parcel of the state parties that are inside it. Now, where are we? Back to your question. Yes, a lot of things with respect to trading in goods have been put in place. With respect to rule of origin, with respect to all the various procedures at both the custom level as well as making sure that the port administration of member states are doing well. And then, other things that are being put in place are issues of making sure that the various products that you can trade, and then the various HS code have been put in place. And then after this one, different countries are coming up with the company that will be able to trade. Now, 2022 December, African Continental Free Trade Area, because of this same question you ask, that where are we now? They said, well, we cannot be waiting for everybody. Let us start with what we can call a guided trade initiative. And what is guided trade initiative? It is an initiative in which all the countries that have satisfied the minimum threshold of principles can start, and then the other country will join them. And therefore, in October 2022, 8 countries actually entered into that guided trade initiative. Nigeria was not part of them. But we thank the current Secretary General of African Continental Free Trade Area National Action Committee in the name of Segun Awolowo. Since he come on board, he said that Nigeria must participate under the second phase. So among the 29 countries that are coming up under the second phase, Nigeria is going to be participating. Out of the conditions, about 8 of them, the last condition is gazetting. And just about a month and a half ago, the issue of gazetting has been resolved. So Nigeria will participate. So once we start participating, that means we can be trading. But let me warn that trading in domestic currency cannot start immediately until Papss finish all the arrangements. So we are going to do that one later, and then that one will come about. It will meet us as we are trading. All right. So, but what is there is that Nigeria is going to participate under the next GTI, that's Guaranteed Trade Initiative. And so where we are is a good way.
Okay.
But again, let me say this one. Very important is the fact that this second phase is going to involve trading in services. That is to say that professionals in Nigeria can be prepared themselves to trade with other professionals across African countries. Because Nigeria, we have submitted our trading services schedule, which means we are ready to actually trade, import, and then sell our trading in services. Okay. So I'm going to tell all the professionals in financial services, legal people, engineers, to be preparing and making sure that they equally package themselves together to trade under African Continental Free Trade Area under the second initiative of GTI.
Okay. Thank you very much, Professor Jonathan Aremu.
Thank you.
I'm afraid we're out of time, but we'll continue this conversation. Maybe there will be a part 2, and we will definitely invite you over to come and share your thought with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.